What's going on, guys? I'm in Advantage and welcome to HUD Tips, a 30-day video series designed to make you a better player in NHL 22. Over the next 30 days, we'll be covering everything you need to know both on and off the ice, from team building to offensive and defensive tips, as well as other ways to improve your game. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and click like, and if you'd like to follow along for the journey, make sure you go ahead and click subscribe. Without any further ado, let's get right on into it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about team building. Our topics for today are, first off, figuring out your play style, and I'll give you a few examples of what this could be for you. Next is going over the best way to set up your lines. And lastly, making sure that whenever you're building your team, you're matching your play style to both the zone and superstar abilities of those players that you're targeting. When it comes to figuring out your play style, I would go back and see where you're scoring the most goals or having the most success. Now, of course, you can mix this up over time, but the three main play styles I see are time on attack, working the point, and on the rush. First up is time on attack. A lot of times you may be targeting bigger players that have better balance, better puck handling, and better puck control. You also want to look for the passing attribute here as well. Next up is players that like to work the point. A lot of times these players are taking shots from the point, working the puck around in the offensive zone from the point, and looking for those deflections or those rebounds in front. And lastly, players that play on or off the rush are going to be targeting faster players in order to get those odd man rush opportunities. And at the end of the day, put more pucks in the back of the net. Of course, the better player you are, I would submit that you are mixing up most all of these play styles. However, there normally is at least one or two dominant play styles that you are normally heading towards. When it comes to setting up your lines in NHL, there's a couple different ways to go about it. We'll get more granular on this topic in later videos, but for now, here's what you need to know. On the left wing side, I like to have a right-handed shot. So Mario Lemieux, Nathan MacKinnon, Jack Eichel, and Claude Giroux are all right-handed shots. Conversely, on right wing, I like to have a left-handed shot. So somebody like Matt Duchene, Connor McDavid, Patrick Kane, and Jack Hughes all shoot left-handed. Depending on your play style and how you choose to do this, of course, you can change this up however you see fit. I've done both. I've had lines that are all right-handed. I've had lines that are all left-handed. However, I find that this works the best for me. When it comes to my centerman right down the middle, I like to look for two separate things. The first thing is size. Austin Matthews is 6'3", 220 pounds. Steven Stamkos is 6'1", 194. And lastly, Mark Scheifele is 6'3", 207. Now, the smallest centerman I do tend to have in my lineup right now is Crosby. However, his faceoff rating being at a 94 certainly does help. However, in online matches, your faceoff rating doesn't come into effect nearly as much. Moving on to defensemen, I like to do roughly the same thing, although I do tend to mix it up on defense a bit more. On the left-hand side, I have Adam Foote, Cale Makar, as well as Dougie Hamilton, who are all right-handed shots. And then on the right-handed side, I have left-handed shots, except for John Carlson. There's two schools of thought when it comes to this. The first is if you have a left-handed shot on the right side and a right-handed shot on the left side, you're more apt to take one-time shots from the point. On the flip side of that coin, it could be advantageous to have a right-handed shot on the right side and a left-handed shot on the left side, for example. The reason you may want to do something like that is if you like to send pucks up the boards and clearing out of your zone, it certainly does make it a bit easier. When considering picking up players for your team, it's important to look at all their attributes. Somebody like a 6'3", 225-pound Anze Kopitar is going to be a bit slower, even with his synergy activated. However, his shot and puck handling is certainly going to help you in time on attack. Compared to a player like Matthew Barzal, who's obviously a little bit smaller and a little bit faster, he may be better suited for a player that likes to play on the rush. However, he could be a liability in your defensive zone. Having a combination of different players, play styles, and sizes on your team, of course, will set you up for the most success. When you're building your team, it's important to target players that have zone and superstar abilities that match your play style. For players that like to have a lot of time on attack, here's an example of what you may be looking for. Big Rig and Unstoppable Force are going to help you keep that puck on your stick, so it's going to be a lot harder while you're working the puck around in the zone for players to knock you off. As you move that puck around, Third Eye and Tape to Tape are going to help you make more crisp passes, ensuring that that puck is going on your other teammates' sticks. And while you're making those passes, in order to put it in the back of the net, something like 1T or close quarters may help you do so. Let's say, however, you're a player that likes to work the point. Tape to Tape is going to help you get it set up in the offensive zone. Something like Thunderclap, Seeing Eye, or Heat Seeker is going to help you have a more impactful shot from the point. And Big Tipper and Total Eclipse are going to take that goalie off of his game, allowing deflections or just getting in the way in the slot to help you score more goals. Players that like to rush the zone, send it is going to help you clear that puck up the boards, avoiding those defenders. Wheels is going to help you break into the zone along with ankle breaker. If you want to pass it to your teammate, tape to tape is going to help you get off that one timer, or if you want to take that shot yourself and send it home, you can use something like make it snappy. These are simply examples that you can use in order to get your mind thinking about how you want to build out your team. You of course can do this on a team-based level. You can narrow it down to just a line-based level, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the zone and superstar abilities that you're activating are a good fit for you. That's it for me on this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and click like. And if you'd like to follow along for more HUD tips, make sure you go ahead and click subscribe. Again, I'm Main Advantage, and I will see you guys next time.